What's going on, guys? You're doing the Telly broadcast. So in today's video, I just wanted to go over a couple, news and things that have gone on since the last time I've recorded. I just want to apologize, obviously, first. Right now, I haven't recorded since the 8th. I uploaded a video on the 8th, and now I'm recording this on the 19th. So I mean, I've been away for a little bit, but I just want to say the reason why I've really been away is strictly because like last week I had a couple tests and quizzes and stuff like that, and I was a little busy with school, and also too, like secondly, there just really hasn't been anything going on in the NFL news, which brings me up to my next point. I kind of want to I want to expand my channel into like different things and like different topics that I talk about on this channel, because obviously I was thinking about it, like during the time from like May to like July, really nothing sports and nothing Giants related really goes on. I mean, maybe you'll see a workout video from someone here or there, but that's really it. Nothing really goes on. So my whole thing is like I kind of want to start to expand my horizons as far as things that are going on. My big thing that I want to do is hockey. I'm a huge hockey fan. I love the NHL. I love the Rangers too as well. They've been I really haven't followed them that much up until this year. Obviously I'm from the New York area, so I'm not like a front runner. And I've kind of been a Rangers fan my whole life. I just really haven't followed it that much. So I didn't really want to get into it. But now since I've been at school, and I go to a school that's very hockey orientated, we have the D1 hockey program here, I just really wanted to get into it. So this has been kind of my year where I've kind of stepped in this whole hockey world, and I've really enjoyed this whole hockey world that I've really been into. I think it's a lot of fun. I think the sports in general is really interesting. I think the atmosphere is really interesting, a lot of fun. So yeah, I've really gotten into it. So I think I'm going to be doing more of those kind of videos as far as hockey goes. Maybe do like a weekly report on how the Rangers played. They play like maybe 3 to 4 times a week. I know we got a game tomorrow against the Islanders. Looking forward to that. We just came off a 4-game winning streak. So yeah, I want to dive into that too as well. So then you'd be introduced to, I talk about the Giants, obviously. I talk about UFC, and I talk about with my buddy Kevin. And then I talk about, I want to get into the NHL and NHL in general. But yeah, so that's kind of that part of this video. And then the second part I want to go into just to talk about before we go into the Giants news as far as Kim Jones' report. This came out a couple days ago. Me and my cousin is a huge soccer fan, or as they call it over the sea, over the pond, is football. So we're going to be making a video, and I don't want to be mean, but don't expect many soccer videos to come out from me, but we're going to be making a video talking about this whole Super League. I'm sure many of you have heard about it or seen something on Instagram or Twitter. So yeah, we're going to make a video tonight, me and him, at around like 8 o'clock. I won't be posting until tomorrow, but we're going to make a video talking about what's gone on and how he feels and stuff like that, because he's a huge Manchester United fan. They are one of the teams that are leaving the Premier League. So yeah, there's that part of the video as well. I want to get that, just talk about that. I'm really looking forward to doing that with him. Also coming up too, me and Austin and Leah and my buddy Paul, new special guest. We're going to be doing a mock draft together. I'm really looking forward to that as well. That's going to be coming out tomorrow sometime, maybe on Wednesday too. Something around there. It should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. But, all right, now to get into like really what this video is about and why you probably clicked on this is just talking about Giants news. So, the Giants, supposedly, according to Kim Jones, who's an inside reporter, she's come out and said that there's 6 to 7 players, because she mentioned later, but there's 6 players that she believes the Giants are going to be drafting with the 11th overall pick. And she starts off by saying Aziz Olejolari, who's a Georgia defensive edge, so outside linebacker kind of type. Micah Parsons, who's the Penn State linebacker I've talked about many times. Kwity Paye, who's a Michigan edge. Slater, who's a Northwestern University tackle. Patrick Surtain, who's an Alabama cornerback. And Jalen Waddle, who's also Alabama wide receiver. She later goes on to say that she wouldn't doubt if Devonta Smith is on the list as well. So that's that. Now, that's definitely kind of interesting as far as these names go. I mean, it's not really that... It's not like... There's nothing really to be, like, surprised about. I mean, like, these are kind of the players that you would assume are probably going to be there at 11 anyway. Maybe not Jalen Waddle or Devonta Smith. They might go a little earlier. But these are players in general. Like, I mean, she didn't really, like, narrow anything down for us. But the name that I just saw that is a first for me is this Aziz Olejolari. Now, I don't know much about him, to be totally honest with you. The only thing I really do know about him is that he plays for Georgia. And the big thing that people are saying with him is that the person that was the head recruiter that recruited him to go to Georgia is now our linebacker coach for the Giants. So that's kind of been the connection. And obviously, as we know, Dave Gettleman and Joe Judge, especially Joe Judge, love their connections between players and coaches in general. Like, every coach is coached with each other or has been on a similar staff or, like, has some kind of connection with everyone. Really, the only one that doesn't have any kind of connection with anyone is Jason Witten. Or not Jason Witten, wow, sorry. Oh, Lord. Why am I forgetting his name? Offensive coordinator. Whatever. The offensive coordinator for the Giants. Why am I forgetting his name? Sorry about this, guys. Whatever, but yeah, you know who I'm talking. Oh, Jason Garrett. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot his name. Wow, that was a little embarrassing. But yeah, Jason Garrett. I think he's the only one that doesn't have any connection to any of these coaches on the team. So that's really it. But yeah, so Aziz Olejolari to me is pretty interesting because I don't see us drafting Kwity Paye. I feel like he's very similar to what we get with Leonard Williams. It says he's an edge, but like I feel like he's more of like an interior lineman that can play the edge, which is exactly what Leonard Williams does. They're roughly around the same size too. And then Rayson Slater, I hope he falls to us, but I don't feel like he's going to fall to us, to be totally honest with you. Patrick Surtain, I don't really necessarily think we need to get a corner, especially with the 11th pick. I don't feel like that's where they really want to go. And then Jalen Waddle, I don't think he's going to be there. And same with Devontae Smith, I don't think he's going to be there. You'll see with the mock draft tomorrow that those guys probably won't be there. So yeah, that leaves us up with Micah Parsons and Aziz Olejolari. And supposedly someone, I forget who said this, but I apologize for not giving them credit, but someone said that the Giants said that they hope to God that Micah Parsons is drafted before 11. Meaning that they don't want to draft him because they love his talent, they love the player that he is, which is obviously pretty apparent. Like, everyone loves that. Everyone loves the player that he is, but they don't love the person that he is. There has been a lot of reports that have come out about some, character issues and character flaws that people have kind of been questioning, and they're a little sketched out about. And it's kind of upsetting that the fact that this kind of takes away from such a great player that he is. So that is really interesting to me, and I honestly do think the Giants, their wish is not going to come true, and I do actually think that he is going to fall to 11. So I am pretty interested to see how the Giants will respond to that. Are we going to draft him? Or are we just going to suck it up and be like, well, we need him? I've been on record before saying that I don't think this is the case. I think that, again, I don't believe that this should be the case, but I think that Dave Gettleman doesn't want to draft another guy with character flaws. He got flamed for Devontae Baker. He got flamed for that. And now he doesn't want to get flamed for, or doesn't want to get killed by Giants fans when Micah Parsons is a pan out, or he does something bad as a pro, or something happens bad. Because they're going to be like, wow, you couldn't learn your lesson when you literally drafted a guy maybe not even 2 years ago, who did not get acquitted, but was in a pretty sketchy situation. So, yeah, I don't see us drafting Micah Parsons. Honestly, it kind of pains me that we're not going to draft Micah Parsons. I love Micah Parsons. I think he's a great player. I think he would make this Patrick Graham defense that much better. So that leaves us up to Aziz Olejolari, who I think is an interesting player. He's some people have him related similar to Leonard Floyd, who is now, he's like a defensive outside linebacker for the Rams, and was actually, if you guys remember correctly, he was a player that the Giants were seriously interested in. So that's something pretty interesting, that they're going to be getting a play, that they would be considering a player that's something like that. But my biggest concern has been and it will be, that I don't really like any of these defensive end type players, or the outside linebacker type players for the 11th pick. I would love to see if we trade down, but I just don't see us doing that. And it's kind of upsetting because I know Dave Gettleman hates a trade down. It's just been his kind of MO, and that's just not what he's really into. So I'm upset by the fact that we're probably not going to trade down, and we're probably going to have to settle for a guy that I don't really think, no offense to him, deserves the 11th pick. Excuse me. So, I mean, maybe Dave Gettleman breaks his trend, but the only way I can kind of see that happening is if one of these quarterbacks, such as maybe Trey Lance or Mac Jones, falls to us at 11, and we're able to trade with, either the Patriots, or who are at 15 right now, or I believe the Bears, who are at 20. That's kind of the only way I can kind of see this happening. Or that's where I'd be happy. But totally at the end of the day, if we stay at 11 and if we stick with Aziz Olejolari, I won't be devastated. I won't be completely, like, I won't be so angry at the fact that, like, oh my God, this guy stinks, but I won't be thrilled. I hope he does pan out, and I hope he obviously plays well, but if I'm saying what I really want with my 11th overall pick, it's Rayshawn Slater if he's there. If Rayshawn Slater's still there, that's who I want. The only really team I feel nervous is going to probably take Rayshawn Slater is Carolina. I'm a little worried about that, or then just taking a lineman in general. But I think with that case, I think that Penei Sewell is going to fall in the draft. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised. I think Penei Sewell is going to fall in the draft, and he's not going to go to the Bengals. And I think Penei Sewell is going to end up going to Carolina, which leaves us with the Cowboys, who do need offensive line, and I think they'll probably end up taking Rayshawn Slater, which makes me very upset. There obviously is that Vera Tucker guy. We can maybe go him as well. I just would like to fix this offensive line. Really, that's all I really want to do. It's very young. If you think about it right now, the offensive line is Andrew Thomas, probably a mixture between I'll just say both guards are either Hernandez or Lemieux, and then our center's Gates, and then our right tackles could be either between Nate Solder or Matt Pert. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm not particularly thrilled about that. I know it's, the Giants seem to like these guys. They seem to like their guy, Matt Pert. They seem to like his development. They seem to like Shane Lemieux. They like these guys. I just think that it's a little too young, and there's a little too many question marks. And to be honest, guys, we should know as Giants fans. Like, I know some Giants fans are like, oh, we just need more weapons. We need this or that. But that doesn't make any sense to me, guys. Remember in 2018 when we had Odell Beckham and freaking Saquon Barkley on the team? And we didn't have an offensive line? How bad were we? You can maybe say it was Eli, but guys, it's not. It's the offensive line. The offensive line was putrid, and Eli had no time to throw to any of these weapons. It's the same thing for guys like Kenny Gallaudet. Kenny Gallaudet is a deep threat kind of guy who doesn't need to get open per se because he's a good 50-50 kind of guy, but he needs to get down the field. And guess who needs to have time to let him go down the field? Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones needs to let him have time to get down the field. And I would just like to have as many options as possible. I'm not saying guys like Matt Pert or Shane Lemieux, and maybe even I'm not even really saying, Will Hernandez are bad players. If I'm being honest with us, I feel like the only two good players I don't really feel like have that many question marks on the offensive line for me per se are Andrew Thomas and Nick Gates. Those are the only two guys that I don't feel have really any question marks. So that's why I would rather, have more opportunities and have more options at that offensive guard spot, especially the offensive guard spot, because I feel pretty good about Matt Pert. I like Matt Pert. I like that he's a New York Giants fan, and he has the big arms. He looks big. He played well at times last year. Sometimes he looked a little lost, but sometimes he played well. So I feel pretty good about him, especially, and also Nate Solder too. Maybe he's not really fit to play left tackle. He's more fit to play right tackle. Who knows? But yeah, that's pretty much my whole thing, is why I think we need to go Rayshawn Slater if he falls there, and maybe even Vera Tucker. Maybe even Vera Tucker if he falls there. But yeah, guys, that's kind of the video. I really hope you enjoyed. And yeah, I'll be making more mock drafts. I'll be making this mock draft with my two friends tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, guys, I'm going to be also posting those Ranger content too, so I hope you guys enjoy hockey as well. But thanks for listening. See ya.